So, and I believe we are live. Good. All right. So, board games. I take board games pretty seriously. I actually pretty much. I would say board games are my ideal friend night. They are what I prefer to do if I'm having three or more people over. I also think the medium of board games isn't talked about in the entire. Hello, Kayla. How are you doing? Isn't talked about in a typical way online that I want to see it talked about. Because if I'm having people over to play a board game, it can be for a ton of different vibes, right? I Forget. I think that board games are genuinely an art form, and the experience of playing them with friends can be, anything from just a quick, fun, competitive romp to. Okay, can you check to make sure this live stream is monetized? Thank you. Or they can be a long, multi-day strategic, adventure, right? That many month long. I mean, if you're doing a D&D thing. I also want to say, in as snobby as that might sound, I have absolutely no snobbery when it comes to what I consider a board game. I probably have too wide of like a definition. If it's something we're sitting down to play together at a table away from our screens, that's a board game to me. Magic the Gathering, if I'm saying I want to play a board game, I'm open to a huge gambit of stuff, right? And so I have both a very high bar for the board games I want to play and a low one in a sense where, if you want to try and get me to like Settlers of Catan for the 20th time, I'll try it. If you want to play poker, I think that's a great, quote, board game. The magic of board games to me is that you're getting together with friends to focus on a shared set of rules, and that will create an experience. And I think some of the most fun I've had in my adult life is with friends doing that. There's quick, just competitive, dumb games I can almost explain the rules of in a minute, like Holly Gully, that... Crap. I can't check to make sure if this is monetized right now. Give me 1 second, y'all, while I keep rambling. But so, a Holly Golly is a game that I absolutely adore, that it takes literally one sentence for me to teach someone. If you see exactly 5 of any syllable on the table at this time, be the first to slap the bell. It's the simplest concept ever, but it takes a minute for people to be, really get it, because they'll hear that and they'll go, well, okay, I get it. And then once you really start playing the game for a while, you learn how to play the game instantly. Suddenly it's strategic. Suddenly you're doing math and you're trying to not syllable. You're trying to get in people's heads. And then there's games on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, right? Twilight Imperium, a game that I think took me 4 to 6 hours to actually learn how to play. And then my friends were like, and now we're going to start. And to be frank, my response at that point was, I hate you. This was too far in the other extreme, and it felt like my whole day was kind of pushed into this one spot. I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm trying to set an expectation of what I like in a board game. I don't mind if it's complicated, but if it's complicated, I want to actually feel like I'm learning about communicating with my friends, and the strategy is actually going to lend itself to accomplishing the game's goal, right? I have a ton of fun with just dumb, straightforward, and just getting to it, right? And I think that can be equally as valid. When it comes to a promised Wheel of Time game called War of the Dragon, I expect the former. I know nothing about this. I didn't even really plan on originally covering it, but so many people were messaging me saying, what are your thoughts on... I should probably give the chat box a black background. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? I want to hear your opinion on this this Wheel of Time board game. And so I figured, all right, screw it. I don't really want to do a product review. I don't want to come in here and have some kind of behind the scenes interview. I haven't played the game, but I figured the least I could do was go through what the pitch is, check to see if Red Eagle Entertainment is involved, and give my thoughts on if the general direction Direwolf, the creators of this game, are taking Wheel of Time is something I'm interested in. I'm suffering, I think I've said a few times on the channel here, from a severe Wheel of Time burnout. Love Wheel of Time. Will forever love Wheel of Time. It's my favorite franchise. I just talked about it for 16 hours on the channel, and I just had to deal with the debacle of a firestorm of a TV show that got canceled. So, I'm at a point where I don't think I'm going to be very giving, but if at the end of this I'm hooked, then I can always be brought back in. You can always use Wheel of Time to get me back in the game. Let me see what people have said here. Just found out about it now. Yeah, well, good. I'm glad. If anything, I can at least give these people some free promotion because they're a board game company. It's not like they're Amazon. It's someone I can maybe give some attention to. And I want to also say, just because I maybe am going to look at this and go, it's not for me, doesn't mean it's not for you, right? I'm a very picky board game player. True story. I'm not going to say the name of anyone involved in this. I had an author many years ago send me a board game adaptation of their game. And they're like, hey, if you want to review it on the channel, great. If not, understood. I just kind of wanted to get in your hands, get your thoughts on it. And I was like, cool. Played the game, reached back out to the author and said, hey, I don't like it. It's just, it doesn't, it feels like it's just kind of a awkward skinning of your game over something that previously existed. And it's just not also the kind of board game I lean towards. And then the author was like, oh, that's fine, and I didn't review it on the channel because I didn't have much to say about it beyond that. I didn't think it would perform well for me anyway. And then 3 years later, that author reached out to me, and I don't know if they remembered they sent me this game and I said that about that board game or what, but they messaged me and said, hey, I feel like you'd have good taste in board games. Do you have any you'd recommend to me? And I was like, hold on. I was like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. Did you not like your game? But that was, I don't know. I genuinely think they forgot they asked me about to review their game and then I didn't because it was a very brief thing. But that was a really funny moment that I was like, the implications here are interesting. Okay, but let's look at War of the Dragon, which there's a brief movie here that is really just like a Kickstarter promo. We've all seen a million of these. It does the Wheel of Time logo as it should in a cool way. You get a zoom out of a map, and that's all that is. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. I am happy to say that for those who are interested in this board game and have already decided to back it, you smashed through your goals, so you're going to be getting the game. Great. And we'll go for there. I just backed it without looking at it at all. I do this a lot. I don't recommend doing that, but I'm a board game simp. Hey, I'm a book simp. I was in a bookstore today. I already have an early edition of Dune, but I was considering getting another one because I saw it and I was like, but what if my other one gets damaged? Then I can have a backup early Dune. Is my sound quality all right? It says I might be peaking a bit. I can lower it if needed. All right. Let's go ahead and see what this is going to be here. It needs to reach its goal by June 23rd. We already did. That's great. Will this live stream be privated? I hope you understand how human and honest I'm being with you when I say it depends how I feel it goes. But I don't know. All right, let's talk about this. What do we know? Direwolf. Denver-based Direwolf is a creator and publisher of award-winning digital and physical strategy games. Okay, so we're getting strategy. Include Dune Imperium. I've not played that, but I've heard good things about Dune Imperium. I did not know this company had handled a major IP before. I feel like that's a good sign. Creator for Clank Catacombs Underworld, which super funded, and Clank Legacy. The more recent one got even more funded. I feel like that's a good sign for the company. Oh, wow, they have a heck of a resume. And yeah, Dune Imperium I've heard good things about, and they supported the game for multiple expansions. That's a really good sign. I'm very happy to see that. Okay, I care about your resume, right? So that's a good resume. Oh, wow, there's another big franchise, Invincible, the hero building game. This is anecdotal from a friend. A friend of mine told me they weren't a huge fan of that, but that shouldn't really mean anything to anybody because it's just a friend of mine with an opinion. And a lot of my friends are idiots. All right. Let's look back now at the the Wheel of Time game. Okay. So the publisher I can get behind. I see no red flags there, and I didn't see anything about Red Eagle, so that's good. They deliver on previous campaigns. That's promising. Yeah, seems like they did. No, Red Eagle didn't make this, as far as I can tell. I got it just for the art and piece of something Wheel of Time, but I'm a Watt simp. I get that. I'm not going to blame you for that. We got a cool quote here. All was shattered, and all but memory lost, and one memory above all others of him who brought the shadow and the breaking of the world, and him they named Dragon. Bringing Robert Jordan's fantasy masterpiece, The Wheel of Time, to your table in a grand strategy board game from the award-winning... I'm sorry, that doesn't mean anything online anymore. I'm technically an award-winning author. I'm technically an award-winning YouTuber. It just doesn't mean much. It's like the car companies that make their own awards and then give them themselves. Yeah. I'm not being too mean. And Dune Imperium with the design by Andy Clotis and Mike Michaelson. I assume those are just the founders of Direwolf. And concept art and character design by Raul Ramones. Ooh, at the end of this, remind me to look up this artist. I'm glad they're proudly putting their artist early on, especially in today's day and age. We need an Invincible review, Daniel. Really? Okay, if you want my thoughts on that, I might do it on the second channel. I liked season 1. I've not watched past that. I read the comic for a while, and I just eventually... It's not that I didn't like it. I just ended up kind of dropping it. Let's see. War of the Dragon. War of the Dragon... Oh, God. War of the Dragon is the war that takes place during the actual events of the series. War of the Shadow is the one that took place in the past, correct? Or am I accidentally flipping those? No, it's the one that's actively taking place in the series. So that's telling you... Yeah, that's telling you it's taking place during the books. Oh, man, that means it's going to have spoilers in it. It can't avoid it. That's interesting. Okay. Only thing I don't like so far is that Egwene and Rand art. They look kind of weird. Oh, I'll keep that in mind when I check them out. And then we have the Wheel of Time Chronicles. The epic conflict between the forces of light and darkness embodied in Rand al'Thor. Embodied in? That's true. That's the whole Rand thing. The Dragon Reborn and his internal nemesis, the Dark One. Oh, okay. I jumped the gun. I thought they meant like inside Rand, which is true. But he means between them. Yeah. War of the Dragon is a grand strategy board game where players step into those roles to wage war across the land of magic, ancient prophecies, and powerful armies set to save the world or destroy... Oh, so one is the light and one is this a 2-player game only? Let's keep reading. That's exciting. Well, no, I doubt that the game this intense is 2 players. Usually a game this strategic's multiple. So you probably have like people on teams. I'm predicting, maybe. But I like that you're setting light and dark and embracing that angle to it. That's cool. I wonder if there could be a player 3 option that's the Shan-Chan. That would be sick. I would like that. All right. Let's see. Only thing... okay. Daniel Live, love the cardigan. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is my favorite cardigan, although it's missing a middle button. Should I get out of here? I haven't finished the series yet. No, I will save you from any spoilers. I promise. I will not read anything aloud that is a spoiler. War of the Dragon, The Wheel of Time, combines tableau building action selections and arena control mechanics in a thrilling struggle of conquest and survival. Tableau building action selection and arena control mechanics. I'm trying to process that. Okay. The game is still being refined and in development, but here is where things currently stand. Being honest with that, at least, I appreciate that. The game is 1v1, but okay, I'll get to the details. But thank you for answering. I appreciate it. It's only faithful if when you lose, you have to get spanked. For those of you who don't know, there is an egregious amount of spanking within the Wheel of Time. An insane amount. There are 2 ways to fight War of the Dragon. Hero mode, recommended for new players, and Epic mode, where you take control of massive armies. Hero mode, for up to 4 players, great, sees the Dragon and the Dark One gather their most trusted allies and lieutenants to complete missions and insert control over contested regions. Oh, this is going to have like a risk element to it. Oh, how are the Aiel going to play into that? And the Shan-Chan. Oh, I really hope there's at least expansions one day to include, and Shara. We can get Shan-Chan, the Aiel, and Shara. And for those of you who haven't read the series, that means nothing to you. Don't Google it. But that would be cool to get that involved. Epic mode is for 2 players. The scope and the stakes both increase as you take the field with powerful armies that you can upgrade and enhance through the game. Neat. Let's take a look at these figurines. Open image in new tab. Oh, there we go. That's better. Now I can just generally have this bigger on screen for y'all. That's better. Cool. Glad I figured that out. Hey, goblins. Yes, hello. More lives if you're able. I appreciate that. Red Hand fitting to take over this map. All right. I like these figurines. Matt. Maybe that's Egwene in the back. Someone mentioned Egwene and Rand. And then we have... I know exactly from... Well, we know... I'm going to shut up and stop talking. And then we have... Ooh, I'm going to guess... It's got to be Lanfear, Samael... And I don't know who that is in the back. Interesting. Okay, let's take a... Oh, and that's going to be... Is that a Trolloc? And then we have a Darkhound. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Both game modes span the years from the Battle of the Two Rivers depicted in the Shadow Rising to the end of the Third Age. Really? We're not going to go with the Stone of Tyr? Okay, sure. The hero mode, well, the Shadow... Oh, the Shadow was involved in this. Nah, but okay, I can get why that wouldn't work. Yeah, because the Battle of the Two Rivers is the first, as far as I can recall, keeping it spoiler-free, pitched large-scale battle between the forces of the Shadow and the forces of the Light. Am I forgetting something big? I don't know. Hero mode includes the preparations for the last battle. Wow, that's cool. Well, epic mode brings the entire cataclysmic confrontation right to your tabletop. So hero mode's going to start, is that what that's saying, all the way back at the Two River battle, and then you build your way up? Well, epic mode just goes straight into the last battle. Am I reading that right? As your strategy unfolds, you must balance short-term advantages against long-term preparation for the last battle. Individual objectives can help you along the way, but peak too early, and you might see your advantages turn to dust. Oh, okay, I like that. So maybe it's one of those games you're going to be tempted to just go, but of course, by the end of it, you're going to be out of it. So it's not an investment game. I don't think that's like the right term, but that's what I'm going to say. It's instead or not a spending game. It's an investment game, is what I should say. I like the blinder, so you can't see what the other person's working on. Cool. And yeah, I mean the constant debate among fans is why didn't the Dark One just spam all of his forces right away at the beginning? Because the books needed to happen is the answer. But on top of that, there is, you got to strategically play into the prophesied last battle. When the dust settles, either the dragon or the Dark One will stand alone in victory. Their achievements determining the fate of the world. All good so far. I'm going to open image in new tab again so I can easily zoom in. Oh, is that the Rand art you were talking about? Yeah, I can see what... That doesn't fit Rand in my head. Oh, yeah, he's got the tattoos and everything. Also, the fire sword is not how I imagine his fire sword. The art style's good. I want to make that... Does he have a slight mustache? What? Am I crazy? He has a mustache. Hold up. Why? What? That's a why? What? I'm not crazy. We're all seeing the mustache, right? Look at that. That's there. I'm not. Hey, it never says he didn't have a day throughout the entire series where he didn't shave. So maybe this is just him on his Lieutenant Dangle Reno 911 day where he tried it out, Maybe this is just that day for Rand. I don't know. Who am I to say? That's interesting. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to make like a big deal out of that. It's not. It's just funny. Each round, players will take turns playing cards to take actions that generate resources, cool, recruit new allies, and allow your forces to move around the map. Taking the same action as your opponent is costly, so anticipating your opponent's strategy is crucial. I like all of that. Strategy games, though, are such a delicate balance, and that's why I'm going to be hesitant with any game that's trying to capture the feeling of Wheel of Time in a strategy game, because strategy games need to reward you both in the moment and have a sense of accomplishment that can be sustained throughout the actual playing of the game. And it needs to have an overall build where at the end of the game, there manages to feel like some kind of climax where, yeah, your grand strategy paid off and you were able to crush them, right? Because I've had games I've played that have failed on one or the other. Games where you do kind of every minute have something cool going on, but at the end, it's just like, oh, and now I win. And then I've had games where it was a slog to get through for hours, but at the end, there's a cool moment where it's like, and we do it, it's over. But would I want to do it again for that one feeling? Not particularly. So it's kind of got to hit both of those, and I really hope it manages to. Yeah, no? All right. One of the actions, along with particular cards, will allow you to advance your own wheel. Each player has a personal wheel that tracks the progress of their destiny. Okay, so the turning of the Wheel of Time. That's a cool mechanic. In Epic Mode... Oh, I'm in the way. In Epic Mode, investing resources to keep your wheel turning pays off in leveling up your heroes, or freeing the Forsaken from their prison at Sheol Ghul. Alright. I like it. I'm okay, I probably shouldn't say this like on the stream, but I am also considering whether or not to back this right now. People have asked me why I haven't made any content about this. Wheel of Time fatigue, but at the same time, there was like a small part of my brain, and I think it's just partially because I'm spoiled, waiting for people to reach out to me, and I don't think anyone did. If they did, it probably just got caught in a spam folder or something. So it just kind of got delayed and delayed and delayed. And so I just wasn't making up my mind yet, and then I decided, hey, while making up my mind, let's live stream it. And you know, if I was going to get a free one, I didn't want to buy one, and I know that sounds like super privileged, and it absolutely is, but it's my goddamn job. All right. Oh, here's the wheel. Oh, it's got a moving little board game bit. That's sick. Or is that just a card? Is that a card on top or a moving, sliding, rotating piece of cardboard? I'm not sure. Let's see. Open image in new tab. Is this a card or a piece of cardboard that's spinning? I think it's just a card. But that looks like a thick little token, so... And for those thinking, like, Daniel, you really give a crap about the thickness of a token, you're not a board game player. I absolutely care about the quality of the pieces because it feels good, goddammit, to use a big, thick piece. Alright, let's check out this next bit here. As your influence grows, you'll collect allies with 5 different skill icons, represented by cards in a tableau. Gaining strength in each skill will improve the actions you can take throughout the game. I like that you kind of are leveling up your heroes. That's cool. And depending on the game mode, having extra control of these skills, then your opponent will earn you extra points or extra power at the end of the game. Okay, so there is literally like a last battle component happening, it seems. That's neat. I like that. Oh, that's probably what the little screen is for? Yeah. Looks like CGI. Oh, the thing? Yeah. I don't think that was real footage of the game. As overcommitting to a single skill carries its own risk, but if you're careless, you may find your opponent wresting control from you in a disastrous final twist. Plan carefully. It's a lot of interesting, like, ideas being put forward for a game, but I still don't get how it's gonna work. I don't expect them to put, like, a full instruction manual in, though, so I'm sure it's fine. Make this bigger for y'all. There we go. That landed quite nicely. Are you a board gamer, or are you just looking because Wheel of Time? Oh, I have a good collection of board games I play with friends. I opened this live stream by saying my favorite kind of friend night is having people over for board games. Whether it's like quick, simple, fast, sexy ones like Holly Golly, where it's just bam, 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 bam. You know, literally you can explain that rules of that game in a sentence. And then I've had people bleed because of that game and how intense it gets. But I've also tried games like Twilight Imperium. I love strategy. I love competition. But I also am like, anything's a board game to me. Like, I don't like when I'm like, let's play Magic. And someone's like, I said board games. I'm like, it's a freaking board game. I don't know. I get that it's not, but like, it is. Whatever. With over 200 all new illustrations. Oh, like, is this Bale Doman? Right? That's Bale Doman. I think so. From a team of over 30 artists, the beloved heroes, iconic villains. I would switch those. I think they're iconic heroes and beloved villains. And world-shaking events of Wheel of Time come to life on your table as never seen before. War of the Dragon, the Wheel of Time, is offered here in 2 editions, so you can choose the one that's best for your collection. Nice. Okay, this just occurred to me. I believe this isn't Red Eagle Entertainment, and they're not involved. Do you know why? There hasn't been any AI art yet. And they credited an artist right away. They credited an artist first thing on the Kickstarter page, like, hey, this is not AI. We're paying an artist. The Dragon Reborn Edition will be available at friendly local game stores in 2027. Cool. And includes all gameplay elements with characters and armies represented by colorful cardboard standees. Cool. The One Power Edition will be available from Direwolf after the campaign, but will not otherwise be sold at retail, and enhances your gameplay experience with 40 beautifully sculpted, high-quality miniatures depicting the iconic characters of the Wheel of Time. Maybe controversial opinion. I know I just said this. Like, I care about the quality of the pieces. One thing, I actually prefer cardboard cutouts over plastic minis. Now, if you're going to give me a metal mini, that's goated. If you're going to give me like a porcelain one or whatever they make them out of in all these different games, cool. A wood one, great. I don't like the 3D printed plastic minis. They just don't feel awesome, you know? In the colorful art on the actual token, I prefer slightly. That's purely a subjective me thing, but... Okay, so I can recognize Nynaeve from 10 miles away. That's obviously Nynaeve. You can tell because she's scowling. And then we have Rand again. That looks more like Carl from Dungeon Crawler Carl in the face. That's got like the typical Harrison Ford from the 70s and 80s face going on. And that's my biggest criticism. It's not a big deal whatsoever. But no, it just doesn't look like Rand. And he has, again, kind of like a little bit of stubble and face shadow coming in. Interesting. Again, not bad. It's just an interesting choice to have Rand look different than he's looked in other adaptations. Note, game development is ongoing and gameplay details are subject to change before fulfillment. Fine. I get how that could sound bad. And I'm trying to judge if that is in my head, but I don't think so. It's not like they're saying, hey, the board game or these pieces or something aren't going to be possibly delivered. They're just saying, like, there could be an element to the game that turns out it doesn't work. Final art and cosmetics may vary. They're just kind of maybe covering their butts, though that gives me a little bit of the wiggles in the bad way. But both editions will contain the same gameplay experience. All right, fair enough. Let's see. Gameplay preview. Oh, they do have a gameplay preview. All right, cool. Let's watch that. I just need to quickly set up having the audio play through on my computer. I didn't think we were going to be watching videos, so I dumbly did not set that up. Let me get that. So it's just going to take a quick switch. I just need to hit multiple... Wait, what? Maybe that's now... Did I just make that work that fast? No. This is always a huge pain in the butt. Why is it not letting me use this device for sound output? Why are you being a butthole? Maybe it is doing it. We'll see. Let's see. Is the audio coming through for you all?
We have a pretty unique situation going on here at the table. Of course, we have a game that we're going to preview for you.
How about that?
But Ryan's normally just my co-host, but now he's also the co-designer of this
Are you hearing that well enough? Is that okay? I don't know if it is or not. I'm just gonna do it that way. At least he has red hair. Oh, it would be yeah, if he didn't have red hair, I'd have serious concerns. Yes, it's okay. Okay, cool. Let's do that.
It's a game.
Yeah, big
And
moment for me.
it is a big moment, and this is a big property for you as well. The game is War of the Dragon, The Wheel of Time. I know you're a giant fan of Wheel of Time.
Hey, just for purely unrelated reasons, I just want to say this guy over here. I don't know why. I just think he has great taste. You know, weird. I think for some reason he might have really good taste. I don't know why. Just occurred to me.
I don't have any experience with The Wheel of Time. I've not read any of the books, nor do I have much experience with games like this.
Sure.
Because this is a big, epic two-player.
Ooh, wow. Okay. We have a lot going on here. Masana, Samael, Ravine, Matt Cawthon, Randall Thor, Perrine Barra. So we went with the Triumvirate for the good guys' side. And then those seem to be main hero cards. They look a little different. And then these are the main villain cards. So you can choose the Forsaken. That's dope. Got some coins laid out. And then it looks like ally cards. Ally cards. All right. Let's see. White Tower, Schism. Oh, these are like events. Chief of Chiefs. There's like events going on. Missions. This is going to be a complicated game. All right, this is going to be a complicated game. It looks like it's a combo card game / board game. We'll see. To answer your question.
War game in the vein of things like War of the Ring and Star Wars Rebellion, that type of experience, which is also up your alley. I mean, this is like the perfect thing.
Sure, this was a great merge of things I love. I mean, I've been a big Wheel of Time fan for a long time. I've been wearing this shirt for more than a decade.
Not straight.
Not straight. I've had this
He
shirt.
didn't have it on the other day. I can confirm.
So when I got a chance to design a game with, I'm on a design team, 3 great designers, myself, Mike Mahilsik, who was an all-star designer, and Andy Claudius from Direwolf, who designed the Clank game, so the Clank Legacy game. So that was just an exciting team, a bunch of people that really love Wheel of Time. I do want to say, if you're watching this video, this was
They're just going over a lot of the stuff we saw in the Kickstarter. That's why I'm skipping. Sorry, y'all.
a labor of absolute love from everyone involved. Huge group of Wheel of Time fans. So, much like Star Wars Rebellion, which you referenced, one of the big goals of this game was to
All right, bunch more Forsaken tokens, it looks like. We also have some, well, it looks like an Aes Sedai token over in the Two Rivers. We have, who's the, okay. I know what you're thinking. Wow, that buxom blonde woman, that's got to be a character you can recognize instantly. Robert Jordan wrote so many buxom women who wore low-cut dress. It's the meme where it's like, do you know how little this cuts it down? It's like, there are 40 people that could be. Robert Jordan was like, well, I need to have them fold their arms under something, so they're buxom. But also I wanted to point out, we see snake heads on the board here. I don't know if you can see that. We have snake heads and fox heads. So they're incorporating the snakes and foxes element. So we got a snake head right here and a fox head up here. I also wanted to point out how, forget buxom, did the artist nail what well-turned calves look like? You're asking the true questions here. I appreciate that. We also have what looks like a dragon's fang in the bottom corner. And I like how the maps are laid out, like the territory. Although, why are these ones colored differently? There's a couple that are just like darker. Like the Two Rivers territory is just darker over here, and so is the hills. Maybe that's just to distinguish it. Oh, we have Saladar down there. I always forget Saladar is so far south. I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna say why that's important in any way, shape, or form.
the thematic feel of Wheel of Time. And what we did was...
Oh, I do want to say, in terms of the buxomness of the woman, though, they do live up to Robert Jordan's descriptions. She is boobing boobily, quite boobily, so we're good.
Create this a big epic war game, like you said, but we did also kind of scale that back. So one thing this game offers is 2 game modes, and we're going to talk a little bit about one of those modes. First of all, we have epic mode. Epic mode is the extra epic.
Again, we saw that in the Kickstarter, so I'm just going to clip ahead here till they actually get to the gameplay.
If you're a fan of the channel, you know it's not exactly my cup of tea, those big epic things. Plus, the epic mode, like playtime, we're talking like for hero mode, a full game is going to be somewhere close to 2 hours-ish.
Yeah, it could be less, maybe 90 minutes.
Whereas the epic mode is going to be a longer experience.
Correct. But what you're kind of doing in both is kind of, they're along the same guidelines. It's just epic mode adds more to do, more ways to strategize, and more of a tactical battle experience, which I'll talk about. But in the game, so if you're familiar with Wheel of Time at all, it's the forces of light and the forces of darkness. And we're set that way right now. One player.
Here we go. We got all of the cards. Demon Dread seems to be some kind of top dog. I don't love the style of art with him necessarily. It looks a little like Castlevania-y? I don't know. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Broken Binding doing their own Wheel of Time special editions. Wait, really? I haven't heard that. Are you serious? You better not. Are you lying to me right now? If people are surprised I haven't heard certain things, I kept close track of the fantasy news for 7-8 years. I've been taking a break. I have unplugged. It was Grendel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably should have been able to guess that. Masana looks great. Really like Ravine. That's a good hit. Samael looks good. Grendel, that's Grendel. Cimarog was the other figurine we saw earlier. Okay, nailed. That's Nynaeve. People were saying, someone said they didn't like the Egwene art. I picture Egwene looking exactly that proud. That is exactly the slight air of arrogance I expect from Egwene. I'm sorry, that's spot on. Matt Cawthon looks cool. Little face too chatty, but I get it. Matt's supposed to be kind of like a more alt attractive dude, right? Perrin, he maybe make him a little bulkier, but I think that's a good looking Perrin. And yeah, that Rand, that is someone said it earlier. That's Chad Althor. That is not how I picture him necessarily, but it's fine. He looks more like Carl from Dungeon Carl to me, outside the hair. I got a D&D game starting, so I can't stick around to watch, but have a good stream. Oh, thank you so much. Here, I'll give you kisses. I appreciate that. Okay, Broken Binding's true. I'm right. Hold up. All right. Broken Binding Wheel of Time. No way! I'm sorry I called you a liar. You just have to understand the fact that I've been lied to a lot on these streams. That's crazy. Let's see. Where's the news I can click on to look this over with y'all? I assume if you're here to look at a Wheel of Time board game with me, you're also okay with looking at new special editions. Where's the link? Wheel of Time Broken Binding. Come on, give me like the announcement or something. Oh, is it just that? Okay, it's just like literally text on a cloud saying that they're going to do it. There's nothing beyond that yet. Yeah, so I think, yeah. Okay, so they're just doing it, but there's nothing to like look at. That's fair. All right. Fair enough. Thank you for telling me. Appreciate that. Let's get back to our little board game. This is phone. Randall Carl. I am in the middle. I'm almost done with Parade of Horribles. Is that what it's called? Deplorables? Parade of something. The newest Dungeon Crawler Carl book. Really liking it. They send out sign-up forms. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that, Dragonheart. By Breaking Binding, I like renaming them Breaking Binding, not Broken Binding. They're just coming through, tearing them to pieces. All right, let's get back to this.
Here's controlling the forces of the light, which is David.
Of course.
I'm controlling the forces of darkness. We do have some asymmetric starts. We have different decks of cards that we start with.
I just realized that there's two different, there wasn't the same amount of heroes and villains to choose from. That's an interesting choice.
The game, and this is going to be an important part of the game because there's a whole element of hand management, of tableau management, but you start with a very asymmetric start. And also,
okay, the art on these cards is tight. Let's go over this. These are pretty cool. Also, shout out the channel. I feel bad I haven't said that yet. This is Man vs. Meeple. We're watching. We have Shadow Sworn Oath, which shows a Murdral snatching up somebody's head. Oh, hold up. Oh, I can actually make this look even better for y'all. This art looks pretty killer. Let's get into the details. I'll start up top. We have the one power, and what looks like, I won't say because spoilers, standing before, a specific creation in a dark scene that they're recreating. I like that we're getting scenes we can recognize. We have the Flame in the Void, which is a beautiful part of embracing the power. Should I be here? I'll try and keep you as safe as I can, Crispy Whiskers. I'll do my best. And chat, let me know if I screw up, please. We have Preparation. This card has no icon. Okay, so these are the icons. You can't see me with my mouse. Hold up. I'll point with me. Hold up. These are the icons. End of turn. Add this card to any suit in your table. We have Talviren. So you got Rand there. Okay, Rand's revealed to be Talviren like chapter 1, so I think that's okay. The art is so 80s. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think this is a little 80s. Call to Arms. I love the look of Perrin right there. That's dope. Rats and Ravens. Oh, let me scooch. Let me scooch. We're doing a scooch. The Shadows art is just cooler. The Shadows art is just cooler. I'm not gonna miss your question, Dan. Been subscribed for about 6 months now and found you through Wheel of Time Mega Summary. I love the Mega Summaries. Any hints on what might be next? I'm going to do an exciting announcement for that. The vote is technically still ongoing on Patreon right now, but there is a runaway winner. No one from Patreon spoil it here, please. But I'm going to do a fun reveal video. That should be cool to show what's next. It's good. I'll give you a hint. It'll be a bigger commitment than Warbreaker was. Anyway, all right. We have the Shadow and the Raven. That looks cool. I like the Ravens are creepy. Shadow Sworn Earth we talked about. Pit of Doom. Why? That is an Animander Rake ass looking sword. What sword is that from Wheel of Time? I don't think that Animander Rake's from Malazan, for those who don't know. And his sword Dragnipur. I can't think of a sword in Wheel of Time that fits that. Huh. Yeah, it does look like an album cover. I agree with that. Meetings and Secrets. We got Grandal boobing it up, boobily, on the lean in front of Samael. I like that the characters are going to be your cards. You can see actually interacting in the action cards that you can play. That's fun. I like that they're doing that. Warbreaker was great. Finished your video today. Oh, I appreciate that. It's slowly getting picked up in the algorithm. That did not drop well at first. I feel I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like the decision to use Bronson to be Nightblood was a good one. I'm very proud of that decision. And Kayla did a wonderful job in the edit of that video. And then we have the Black Aja, which does not exist. Did you know that? Did you know? Everyone here, I need you to just agree with me in chat real quick and just be like, what do you mean the Black Aja? That doesn't exist. You're crazy. You're out of your mind. There's no such thing. There's no such thing at all. You're being a fool. All right. You need to type all of that. All right. God, let me try and resize this stupid window. All right.
Proud of this, that a lot of the start, the characters that you'll see in the game are all characters from the books, and they kind of start in the areas you'd expect them to start if you've ever read the books.
If you're familiar with the books, I will say this, as someone who's not familiar with the books, and playing this just once with Ryan, our first play, I could tell Ryan was feeling that theme.
Oh,
now, of
sure.
course, again, it should be said, he's part of the design team on this thing. So that bias aside, we're going to tell you about the game. But I could tell as we were playing, I would play a card that was somewhat meaningless to me because I don't have any experience with it. But he's like, oh, game of dice.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that. If you ever end up playing this game with me, that's going to happen a lot. You're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna play Beltane, and I'm gonna go, no, let me tell you the history of Beltane. Oh God.
It's one of the cards I played, and it was relevant to this character, I could tell that it was touching him as a Wheel of Time fan in a way that maybe not, something I wouldn't experience.
Yeah, well, everything in this game is based on something from the books, and we didn't take a lot of liberties. Like, you'll see direct names of chapters, characters that you referenced. So the tableau building part of the game is collecting these allies.
Okay. I am surprised I'm gonna have to say this, but if you plan on reading these cards beyond what I'm going to say here on stream, you might be spoiled. So I'm not gonna say anything out loud. You're welcome to stick around. But if you want to not be spoiled by late stage book stuff, don't read certain things on screen. Kind of. I mean, it's just a name, but like it's kind of a name that allows you to be like, oh, that happens. So just don't read things. Let me go over this though. We have this card here in the center, whose name I'm not going to say. Really nice art. Oh wow! Wait, hold up. That's. Don't read what I'm about. Look away until I get it out of screen. Hold up. Okay, we're good. That art is stunning. That is so incredible. All right, this is a weird I had a conversation with somebody about representation in the Wheel of Time. And, it's not perfect. Like, it's a product of its time. But Wheel of Time is also ahead of the time in a lot of ways. It's held up well in some angles and not well in others. When it comes to specifically the Shaun of Chan and what they are, I want to see one day like a full 1 hour dissertation from somebody who has way more knowledge in terms of like racial implications and stuff than I do about Robert Jordan's decisions to make them what he did. That just came into my head right now for obvious reasons, but interesting. We also have Chief of Chiefs over here. That's cool. Not my favorite art. That looks a little... but it's still good. All right, now this is what I've been interested in. This is what I want to see. I get Matt's decision more now. Shh. No spoils. But these are the actions, so I want to get more into this. On your turn, if Tar Valon is corrupted, damage to an army. I assume those tokens mean damage to a light army, because I assume that is the white, so it's going to be the light side. Okay, cool. So you can corrupt Tar Valons. Oh! Are you going to be able to snatch people's heroes? What? If that's a thing, that's dope. All right. Very cool. Then we have the meeting in secret one. If you have two characters in the same space or adjacent spaces, double crown. Don't know what that means, but cool. The flame and the void again, and the ways. That is nightmare fuel. That is creepy. I know it's a cheap effect, but just the silhouette outline with the white beady eyes will never not look good. Travel a group to a friendly or neutral space. They can't move again this turn. And then we have Wielding Kalendor, which I will not get into the details of, which would be 2 damage to an army, mobilize, adjacent to Rand, damage to light army if Rand Oh! Okay, references. We got references. All right. When you start a battle, damage to an enemy, place the exposed tile at any position before dealing other terrain. Okay, so there's a terrain element here, and that's for Longbow's Two Rivers, which is based off the English longbow, I believe. Sorry, let me catch up on chat. All right, I was joking. You're fine. This will be the coolest shit I will never get to play with anyone. Just come move in with me. We'll play together. It's fine. You should reach out to the designer for an interview. I'm sure they would. I need to be very careful with who I do interviews with. And I'm only saying that because interviews perform terribly. That is an unfortunate truth. But then we have these cool cards. Weaving of Wind. Let's try to read this. This turn, your pieces in, if it were it is adjacent with a must move to normal of end. I got it. I think I got it. Mirror of Mist during your piece through in them. If you're placed or removed if you placed or removed a corruption marker this turn, walls. Wait, is that walls or banners? Banners. Okay, cool. Don't dead open inside. I am stunned every time I learn that The Walking Dead is not done. And I think the original show has ended now, but surprisingly recently. But there's like spin-offs going and stuff. I would love to know how many pounds of blood and gore makeup that show has gone through in its tenure at this point.
And there are a wide variety of allies. I mean, this is small. The deck's huge. And you'll be able to collect these allies over the course of the game and add them to your tableau. Each one of these allies is one of the minor.
No, there are
characters
spin-offs
in
of The
game.
Walking
Like,
Dead
here
going.
I've got actually Uno, who is one of my favorite characters.
Remember when I said this man has good taste? This man has acceptable, exquisite, masterful taste. We have Uno, and he looks like he should from the books. That is a scarred, ugly bastard, and that is dead on.
Awesome to draw him. Each one of these is going to kind of give you effects as you draw them into your tableau, but you're trying to build up your tableau so that you're better at taking the actions in the game. There are 5 actions in the game. Each one is linked to one of these columns on your player board. And as you're adding cards to your player board, you're getting abilities, but you're also tucking them. You're growing that out, and you're able to take stronger versions of some of the actions.
I'm really worried. I've not seen one reference to Bella yet. And if we don't get a single card, a token, anything related to Bella, the pony, I think we should all burn our copies of this game. If you don't give Bella the respect, the horse that carried our party across the entire country deserves, I don't believe you're true fans. And all of your work here is moot. I'm only like a quarter joking. All right. So, oh my God, you brought me food? Thank you so much. I love you too. Oh my God, I got fig jam. I'm so happy. Oh, God. If there's not a Bella card, I'm going to burn stuff. For those of you who don't know, there is a not valid, but I still believe it fan theory that Bella the horse in the Wheel of Time is secretly the creator. Or the Dark One. It's debated. We shall see.
And that's the same for hero mode and epic mode. That kind of is what drives your strategy. Deciding what you're going to focus on and, leaning into these particular actions in different ways because they all affect the board, different aspects of the board.
Yeah, and this is one of those games where all the actions you're doing, all the things you're doing, largely affect what's going out here on this board. It also should be said, by the way, this is obviously a prototype.
Oh, yeah.
The board is a sheet of paper at this point, so just keep that in mind. The final production will, of course, be glorious.
Yeah, there will
in
be
every way
a
possible.
miniature option instead of just standees, and a lot of these tokens will be more finalized and everything.
Yeah, but like Ryan said, there's an action selection mechanic at the core of this. On your turn, you're going to choose one of these actions. Now, there are some limitations. You can...
All right. This is interesting. Recruit an ally from the row or the top of the deck. Gain that ally's favor. Mobilize. You're my favorite. Thank you. Reinforce. Consolidate. Weave, which is influence a mission that matches your card's icon. Oh, we have missions. All right. For each of that icon in your play area. I don't know what that little symbol means. And we have also gain that ally's favor. Move. Add move. This movement can't be used to enter enemy spaces. Oh, this is a part of reinforce, and this is a part of consolidate. Sorry. Okay. Cool. I like all of this. Rescue from the Finn is up top. For those of you who haven't read Wheel of Time, Finn is actually a reference to Finn from Star Wars. He drops in one of the later books, and Finn, the stormtrooper, you have to be rescued from him because he turns evil. It's a weird twist in the series that's very controversial, but don't worry about it.
Choose an action. If the other play is there, it's going to cost you something. If it's the same action you took,
I just realized I said no spoilers, and I just spoiled that there's a Star Wars crossover within the Wheel of Time canonically. I apologize.
It's going to cost you something. If it's both, it's going to cost you even a little bit more. But these actions include getting some of those allies that Ryan mentioned, mobilizing and moving around the board, reinforcing. A lot of these things are just going to kind of give you the things that you need to kind of take all of the actions as well. And then finally, weave, which has one of the mechanics which relates to the wheel on your player board.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a wheel, right? It's a Wheel of Time.
I hope so.
A lot of the things you're doing in the game give you rewards. They give you those crowns. They give you new characters. They give you new allies to go to your tableau. But every player board has wheels that spin, and these wheels do different things. As you move them along the outside edge, you're going to unlock some benefits, strengthen your team of heroes or your armies based on which mode you're playing. But it's asymmetric. So the light side is more focused about building up their characters. There's a small group of characters, the main characters you consider, Rand, Perrin, Matt, and you'll have a whole host of like other supporting characters that can go on the map, but those are like the three focuses for hero mode. In epic mode, you have a little bit of a wider cast of characters that you can upgrade, but the light side is all about upgrading their characters, getting stronger versions of them, whereas the shadow side is all about unlocking the Forsaken from their prison. And that's a big thematic thing in the game. The seals are breaking, the Forsaken are coming out.
Yo. That's actually super tight. I like that the light and dark are literally functioning differently within the game, but that they still are able to build the same power to fight against each other. And it also makes complete sense because the Forsaken aren't getting stronger throughout the series. They're just appearing, whereas the light is always... That's... Well done. Well done. It's looking like I'm going to back this. We also see the Mogideon art, the Osmodian. That's not how I pictured Osmodian, but fine. I'm not in like a bad way. I didn't mean that like a super judgy way. Mogideon art is tight. Gain the Mogideon tile. When missions are revealed each chapter, and now, if possible, place the tile on top of the mission, side up. In the last battle, deploy it to a position with the three... Oh, there's double sides to the cards. Cool. Okay.
There's a big Forsaken deck on the board, and based on how well the Shadow player does, how far they move their wheel every round, they will unleash more of these Forsaken into the world, and they'll get a little bit stronger as they go, whereas the Light will just keep upgrading their characters, and they'll get stronger as they go. So there is definitely that, like, ramping escalation in both modes.
Yeah, and one other difference I noticed, and maybe Ryan, you can explain this to me. You also had corruption that you were dealing with that I, of course, as the Light, I'm not going to be corrupting anything, but tell me a little bit about that as it relates to the overall IP and the game.
Yeah, so there's a few goals to the game. I mean, the whole plot of the books leads to the Tarmangaiden, the final battle where light and dark meet. For hero mode, we kind of end there because we're not doing any epic battle.
Okay, I was really careful looking on screen. Despite this clearly referencing the last battle, I don't see anything that's like a major spoiler. Really? I think we're good. And also that art is killer. That art is killer.
But if you're playing epic mode, you actually do fight out the last battle. And a lot of what you're doing throughout the game is to build to that. And one of the things that you're trying to do is raise support around the world. Yeah, you're fighting each other, but you're also wanting to do some area control. Each one of these...
I love map. Map make happy good. Brain good, happy. Buzz, dopamine. Lot of tokens around this map too. And it seems like some kind of score counter along the sides for both the light and the dark. We have, of the cities chosen to be highlighted, all of them make sense to me so far, absolutely. Yes, Abu Dar, yes, Ilion, yes, Tenchiko, Falma, Two Rivers, Tarvalin, Garion, Roidion, Faldara, Maradon. I'm not seeing any of that. Well, no. Mayenn's not really in it enough to highlight. Yeah, all those cities are the cities I basically would have chosen. Because we have Falma. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, I think that's great. Ooh, the art here looks amazing. I'm hoping so. It's also not final. Good to hear from you, D&D Deep Dive. FYI, the maker of the game commented earlier. Oh shit! Thank you so much for showing up. I hope I haven't said anything hurtful. I'm just trying to, impressions. One thing I do, if the creator of the game is here, I would really like clarification on why some of the areas of the map are darkened. I just am curious. I'm trying to figure that out. It's not anything beyond just a question, 'cause I'm a little confused by that. But no, I really like the details of the water along here. And you guys have such an amazing opportunity for expansions with Shara and the Shan-Chan and the Aiel, and I hope that's been kept in mind. All right, what did the creator say here? Oh, wait, hold up. There they are. First off, there is a Bella card. Oh, hell yeah! It's a free promo along with Hopper. I'm back in the game. I'm going to get one. All right, fine. Fuck. You managed to fan service me. Appreciate it. Secondly, thanks so much for covering the game. It's so surreal to seeing you talking about it when I've spent so much time watching your create. Ah, I really appreciate that. I hope you all love the game. Oh, really, thank you. That's so nice. That was really, really sweet. I missed the designer's message. Well, I'm okay. I need to stay focused. I'm sorry. I'm distracted, but I need to stay focused. That's so cool though. There's Hopper and Bella cards. I hope we get to see them in this video. All right, hold up. Let's I want to take a closer look at this map with y'all, because I know my audience is just as obsessed with maps as me. Is it bad that like a huge part of my excitement for this is purely like I get more Wheel of Time art and that good? Okay, that looks like Galad? Or is that just general White Cloak? I'm not sure. Oh! That was a spoiler. I am sorry. That was my bad. I feel really, really bad about that. That won't happen again. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, it wasn't a huge one. And thank you for the creator responding. The darkened areas are mountain that make for impassable sections. Got it. It's mainly to add some texture to the movement puzzle. Love that. But they're also mountains, so it makes sense thematically. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Okay, cool. Perfect. Dark areas look like impassable terrain. Oh, and we even had someone figure it out. I should have been able to figure that out. Duh. Oh, what should have given it away is basically the wall to the Aiel. Like, that's the impassable wall to get to the Aiel, where you can only go through at a few spots. Duh. I should have figured that out. Ugh! Anyway, let's look at more of these tokens. We have Brutal. Too blurry for me to read. I will say one of my concerns with the games is tokens can become overwhelming, especially if I'm trying to introduce this to like my friends. So I hope the tokens are very intuitive with how they're used, because I think anyone who's like a big board game nerd has probably had this experience like I have, where if you start opening a board game to show people how to play, and you're like, yeah, don't worry about it, and you start laying out all these cards and tokens in front of them, you'll start seeing their eyes get wide, and they're like, no, no. But so far it doesn't seem too bad. It's nowhere near where I found my limit, which is Twilight Imperium. That game is torture. That is where my limit is. I talked about it earlier on stream. I won't say it again, but I had someone spend 6 hours, I think it was, teaching me Twilight Imperium, and then they were like, "Do you want to start?" To which my answer was, "No, I do not want to start." They're also selling a big wall art version of the map. Okay, so now you're competing with the version that I'm giving away for free. You want to fight about it? No. Without all the interface on it. It looks fantastic. Lots of little Easter eggs. Oh, that's great. Although, I could also see some people wanting a version of it with all the interfaces. Or is that just me? Or that's too nerdy. All right, moving on. That's just me. I'm the one who's like, actually, can you give it with the board game stuff? All right.
Sections of the map has a little control box where if you control enough spaces, you get to take control, and those batters will come fight for you. You've got these batter tracks along the outside edge that are going to give you some points during the game or at the end of the game, and if you're playing epic mode, give you some powers that you can use during the last battle. But it's asymmetric. You just have one track, and if you get all the way to the top of that track, you get 12 points. The Shadow has 2 tracks, so I'm still wanting to get batters, but I only get 8 points if I get to the top of the track. However,
Times 2, maybe.
times 2 if I can get both trackers. I have a batter tracker and a corruption tracker. The corruption tracker requires me to drop these corruption markers in cities that I've visited, and I kind of want to protect them because you might be coming in there and taking.
Hold up. Hold up. You just mentioned Easter eggs, and now I'm seeing them. We have White Bridge there. Oh, shit. Okay, hold up. I'm seeing the Easter eggs on the map. Hold up. I know you little nerds want me to check these out. Hold up. I want to see this so bad. I'm actually able to see it closer over here. Oh my god. Wait. First of all, we do have Mayan. Or at least getting some rep here. Right? Yeah, that's Barrow Lane City right there, right? That's Barrow Lanes. That's... Oh, wait, what's the big pillar in the Farron Commons? What's the pillar? Is that just a portal stone? I'm trying to remember. Oh! I like Twilight Imperium, but no. This is a lot simpler. Thank God. And shorter. If you're looking for a weight class comparison, I'd equate it to Star Wars Rebellion. Definitely a meaty experience. Good. Well, meat is what you want in a board game. I said this earlier at the start of the stream. It's like strategy games have a balance where they need to have the turn-to-turn actual enjoyment of physically playing the game that keeps a sense of momentum and accomplishment. And then at the end of the game, that sense of momentum and competitiveness and accomplishment needs to come to some kind of zenith that's satisfying. And I think we've all played games that have failed in either one or two of those categories, where the momentum is there, but at the end of the game, suddenly someone just wins and it fizzles away. And it's like, oh, we spent 2 hours, and it kind of just is like, and we're done. And then there's the other flip side where it's like, oh, we spent 2 hours doing not much, but then all of a sudden it's really fun and great at the end, but it's done. And like, I'm not going to invest 2 hours for that, right? Check Over by Karian. Okay, don't spoil me, dude. Don't spoil me. I want to see it myself. I want to see what I fail to find. Hold up. I'm not actually mad. Thank you for pointing stuff out. I appreciate that. And I want to know if there was a conversation about the Isle of Madness. For those of you who don't know, this isn't a spoiler. It's just like a throwaway lore thing in Wheel of Time that does not come up ever. The Isle of Madness is a land to the south that is just destroyed by madmen. And I hear that concept in Wheel of Time, and I'm like, this is going to be a huge deal. That's so cool. What's this going to be? And then it's down there. How did Robert Jordan miss that? Like, that opportunity to do something with that. Oh my God. Oh, we got a Stedding. Great representation there. Is that Shanghai? Is that Stedding Shanghai? Where's Stedding Shanghai? If it's the only Stedding on the map, then it's Stedding Shanghai, because that's... Or no, would you... I wanted to say Stedding Tofu. It's not Tofu, it's, whatever. Yeah, it's probably Stedding Shanghai. Let's see. Yeah, lots of the cities that don't even get these full icons are still getting represented. That's cool. I like that Saladar's there. Ooh, what fort is that? I can't remember. Is that the Fortress of the Light? Yeah, in Amadisia. Nailed it. Oh, I got it. All right. Wait, yes, it's at the bottom of the map. Oh, there is a reference to it? Ready? No, there's not. That was mean. You just lied to me. Shadow Coast, Tanchico, Tarabon. No Easter eggs there. Ameth Plain. Oh, okay, so it is Portal Stones. That's a Portal Stone, and there was another Portal Stone right here. I don't envy anyone who has to depict Portal Stones because they seem like a really simple concept, but any art that requires you to make up a shitload of symbols and the author only kind of comes up with a few is gonna be a pain. and you have to go through and be like, do I just want to put squiggles all throughout all of this? I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and go up here. Brimwood. Is that the town that Matt and Rand go to and get? I think it is. Man, you guys really are including all the details. There is the, I won't say it. I caught myself and I shut up. LOL, we should make an expansion that introduces the Isle of Madmen. I agree. It adds one new game board that you put in a different room and then you never use it at all during gameplay. That's hilarious. And if it's good art, people would buy it. I swear to God, some nerds would absolutely get that. Dragonmount Slopes. Just, here's a piece of art. You put it in the kitchen and don't touch it. Tarvalin, unclaimed lands. Is that canonically just unclaimed land? I guess it is. I can't think of anything else that goes on there. Tarvalin, go claim that land. So close to the coast, above the drowned islands. Oh, thank you. Wait, above. Oh, yeah. So that would be... Drowned Islands is here, right? Or am I misremembering? I'm not good at geography of our world. Now I'm trying to figure out if I'm good at geography in Wheel of Time. I'm just going to move on. I'm looking like an idiot. This is cool. It's a good map. What are these broken pillars? Oh, what's the broken pillars? What's that? Ugh. I'm trying to remember. Something like 45% of the continent is unclaimed land. That's right. It's a result of the... people say it's a result of the breaking. That's partially true, but I think it's more of a result of the end of the Trolloc War, correct? Where all the kingdoms were wiped out that did claim a lot of that land. And that's why there's so much disputed territory between the kingdoms. Malkir, thank you. Yeah, that's got... Is that Malkir? The Towers of Malkir? Is that a thing? I don't know. 7 Towers of Malkir. There we go. Oh, I'm kind of happy. For the first time since I released my Wheel of Time Mega Summary a couple weeks ago, I had someone accusing me of not reading the books. It had been a while. Releasing that Mega Summary actually stopped me getting accused of being not reading the Wheel of Time really. And I finally had it happen again. And I was like, aw, these people still are here. That's great. I'm glad they're all right. Oh, we even have the villages that are in the pass between in and out of Rhuidean. That's cool. The place that the even the Trolloc Sphere. We got the Portal Stone there. You'll waste. I'm looking. There's Rhuidean, but where is? Do we have? Cold Rock's Hold. Is there art for Cold Rock's Hold? I don't think so. Oh, yep, that's it. Oh, it's right. That's Cold Rock's Hold, right? I think it is. Cool. This is now turned into a map stream. Does anyone have a problem with that? I feel bad because earlier the artist who was here told me to go look at something, and I forgot what he told me to go look at. And I feel like a jerk because I was like, no, don't spoil it. I want to find it on my own. But I'm pretty sure I didn't find it. And now I kind of want to ask, but I'm too embarrassed to, so no one tell him. All right, moving on. 7 Towers Mount Pier. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Yay, map stream. I will absolutely do fantasy map streams. Are you kidding me? You didn't remember the Golden Crane? Where's the Golden Crane? I didn't see a Golden Crane anywhere. I don't see... Am I missing it? I'm probably just missing it. I confused Al Caradal and Cold Rock's Hold. Thank you. You're right. That's what I was looking for Al Caradal, and that's what I found. I was just calling it Cold Rock's Hold, and it makes way more sense for there to be Al Caradal art than Cold Rock's Hold. Thank you for correcting me on that. I don't want to have a... Did I even read the books? Do you know what I mean? I don't even think I did. I think it's a lie. I don't think I read the books. All right, let's get this back down to a normal human being size. That's a sick map. I like it more. Is it weird that like the dark areas I kind of think add like definition? It's like, yeah, we blanked out the mountains, so now it's, I don't know, it's got a contrast that's kind of cool. All right. The wells. Wait, that is funny. The wells at Dumai's Wells. Are you kidding me? They put a meme in here. That is so funny. I noticed those earlier, but I was like, oh, is that just a village? I didn't notice they were wells. That's great. Oh, and we have the, I don't want to zoom in all the way again, but right there's a crystal ball and a statue, and I'll leave it at that. Bro can't even name all 2,700 characters. Probably not. I have noticed the more fantasy series I read in my life, the less I'm able to remember about Wheel of Time. And it's just because lore and everything just starts compounding and compounding and compounding.
Them away from me, I lose them. At the end of the round, I will get points for every corrupted city that I have. So the more I can corrupt, the more points I get. So one of the things that you're going to want to do as the light is take those corruption markers away. Of course, there's more that's happening on the map. You're controlling these areas. You're trying to deal with these corruption markers. And every round, there's going to be 2 missions. And again, these missions are very thematic. We have the Eye of the World and the Prophet of the Dragon out right now. And we're going to put these little snake and fox tokens out on the board. One mission is attributed to the snakes. One is to the foxes. It's a little inside joke there if you read the books.
I'll trust you.
So you're going to put those out there, and you're going to be putting 1 or 2 markers out on the board. These are also things that you're wanting to control. So there's a lot of decisions you're going to have to make as to where to put your focus every turn, especially in hero mode. You're really focusing down on where your heroes are going to go. Now, there's no direct combat in hero mode. What you have is like strength values for all of your units.
Very determined.
Very deterministic. If you go into an area, you have the higher strength, you win, you rout my guy, he goes off the board, he runs away. He'll come back later, but he's licking his wounds. And you'll take control of those areas, and you'll get some extra points for doing so. In epic mode, it is a little more granular.
Yes.
You're literally raising armies. There's a whole, you want to hand me? I'll show you. Because I built a little tray for these. They're just these stack.
Oh my god. First of all, I don't know. I've said I like playing board games. I do. I'm not the board game guy, obviously. Seeing 2 games in one, which essentially how this is coming across, is kind of neat. It makes me a little bit like, okay, how... I hope both of them are fully fleshed out, fully play tested, all that stuff, which I'm sure they're doing now. It's why they have like warnings on their Kickstarter about it. But it's cool. I would love to see somehow a poll done to see which one ends up more popular and more frequently played. Murdrawl art, that smile. Can we talk about that Murdrawl smile real quick? I just want to bring this in. I just wanted to see what I would. This is a smile that I would label disconcerting. That is a disconcerting smile. Every time an author has ever written that word, disconcerting, that's what I imagine. Hey, Samuel reads books. This is an Instagrammer, Instabooker, Bookstagrammer. Why can I never remember that? Definitely a page you should check on out. And no, I've never read Wheel of Time. I just guessed for 16 hours. Okay, then we also have Cavalry. Okay. I don't have a whole lot to say about that art because it's good cavalry. That's art. That'd be cavalry. Archers. Okay, because of the Two Rivers longbow, I assume that's what they're going to depict. And that looks like a hell of a bow. It's taller than the people, so yeah, that's a Two Rivers longbow. Nice. Channeler. Y'all, these people understood the assignment. They knew how Robert Jordan describes women, and they were like, we're having a channeler card? Boob it. There's a woman who's going to be doing something, and this is a Robert Jordan book? Boobs. I love that. the Aiel. This is okay. This is objectively true. I want to say 85% of the time. If there is art depicting an Aiel, they are in motion. And I really think that's funny. It is true, and it's a good choice by artists. The dragons, sick. I won't talk more about that. And again, Dark Friends, and they understood the assignment. They went, wait, not only is this a woman, but it's an evil woman. Double the boobs. You know what? Triple booby. We're gonna go triply boobing here. This is Robert Jordan, damn it. Great art of an Ogier. That's wow. I don't think I've seen an Ogier who has been depicted as lifting so much, but the definition on... Are we all seeing this right now? Look at this. Look at the definition on that arm. Wait. That is some good definition right there. Those are guns. I didn't know there were guns in Wheel of Time, and they are fucking huge. All right. Then we have our disconcerting smile. Ooh, a Trolloc. Trollocs are monsters. Trollocs are evil. Trollocs commit the most heinous, horrible things in all of the Wheel of Time, debatably, to innocent villagers constantly. But that being said, I want to state on the record, no one deserves that haircut. No one deserves that haircut. Are you kidding? Look at this. This is mean. This is so mean to have done to this Trolloc. What? I'm saying this with this going on in my head right now. Dude, that's like a hate crime towards Trollocs. Jesus Christ. All right. Evil, noble looking guy. Some soldiers. All right. Nice. Why is there a Jeremy Johns video up in my next? No hate to Jeremy. I just don't watch his stuff much. Actually, I could use some recommendations. Recommend me some good movie reviewers on YouTube. I have not I don't watch a whole lot regularly because I just haven't found some that are like not saying people are bad. I'm just saying I haven't found ones that I really vibe with. I actually like Man Carrying Things movie reviews that he does on his second channel with his wife on Woman Carrying Thing. Is it Woman Carrying Thing or Woman Carrying Man for the second channel name? I can't remember. Especially their duo reviews are adorable and fun. And of course I watch like Red Letter Media and I know Cosmonaut Marcus. Those are the ones I watch so far right now. Bro, male pattern balding comes after them too. That's great. Ogier but hot. Love that.
Of different army cards that you can add to your army.
Cinnamon Winds is great.
You're actually building out, and you're going to have army miniatures or flags or whatever on the board that are moving around.
You like the animalistic look for the Trolloc? I do too. I wasn't criticizing the look of the Trolloc. I just thought the haircut was funny. I actually bothers me when people draw Trollocs looking more human. I couldn't really see the face of that one very clearly, so I wasn't saying one way or the other.
And when those collide, you'll switch to a giant battle where you're actually
Was that box all the cards of the game? Holy crap, that was a lot.
Assigning your people to this battle board. So one difference between the games is this.
Yeah.
The hero mode doesn't have this battle board at all. Whereas for me, I love the battling. It lets me all that strategic thought I've put into building my banners and whether it's going to be a heavy attack banner or a heavy defense banner.
If you were worried about spoilers, it seems they knew this board that they have on screen right now was a spoiler and they blurred it. So they're trying to watch out for you too.
Or if I can line up two banners and attack you twice in a row as you try to run away or whatever. There's just a lot of thematic or strategic thinking that goes into how you kind of build out these armies. And then they'll have clashes all over the battlefield. And again, that's what makes epic mode, I think, what you would call epic, is just you have these giant, huge battles all the way leading up to the last battle.
this like total war element they're putting in is probably what I'm most excited about. From the sound of it, I don't know the play experience yet, obviously, at all. I think I'll be doing the more complex mode because the idea of moving armies around Randland is like the appeal to me. That is so interesting and so much more fun. So I don't think I'll be doing the more simple version much. My biggest concern is I've seen not one mention of Shan-Chan. And correct me if I'm wrong. And I don't see how you can go all the way to the last battle without mentioning Shan-Chan. Oh, wait, someone just said, had they shown the Shan-Chan yet? Not that I remember. Some of the Trolloc art I've seen sometimes people literally just make Trolloc art and it's like, here's a guy with a pig face, kinda, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. Some people also just draw them as orcs, which is even worse. That's just wrong.
Which you actually play out the last battle by kind of taking everything you've done to this point and using it to help you win in the different lanes of the last battle.
Yeah, based on what Ryan's explained to me about the epic mode, I would say that battles in this, like we said, very deterministic. They happen very quickly. It's kind of like a macro perspective of a battle. The strategy is still there, but the strategy happens from way up high, right?
For sure.
In epic mode, that strategy still exists, but then when a battle happens, imagine you just zooming in and there being probably even more strategic battle that takes place with.
I do want to caveat this by saying that we don't know which of this art is final and which one's not yet. But as you can see from just on what's on screen right now, there is a little bit of inconsistency with the art. And I want to add again, this is pre-art we're seeing in some cases. We just don't know which is which yet. And I'm kind of sitting here going, this looks... Wait, hold up. I need to move myself to point. This looks wildly different than that, which looks wildly different from that. And one of my pet peeves with board games is inconsistent art. I like to be kind of submerged. Let's see. Oh, we have from one of the creators of the games. The Shan-Chan appear among allies and events. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that's all I really needed to see there. Allies and events, because I'm trying to think, would there be any hero that you would want to have as one of the hero cards, as I understand the hero cards so far? No. Aiel, yeah, for heroes, but Shan-Chan, not for heroes or villains, no. They would definitely be, like, more second tier. Dude, your Wheel of Time summary makes me so happy. I watch it, like, once a month. Do you watch anything? It would take me a month to watch it. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. It's funny. People have asked me why I've shifted so much more towards longer form content. It's one, I genuinely am feeling like it's better content. I feel like I've graduated to a better form of content as a content creator. Say that word again. But on top of that, people just keep telling me, like, oh, you got me back into these books because I was able to catch back up. Or, oh, you pitched me Red Rising so much that I feel like I had to go out and buy it. I'm always trying to find a way to get people to read. And I feel like the mega summaries, as contradictory as it may seem to think, because it's a summary of a book, they seem to get people to read. It's kind of strange, especially the Mistborn one. The Mistborn one, my lord, it seemed a lot of people click those affiliate links, and then the Wheel of Time one, I think I've lost count of how many we saw 2 on. That's absolutely right. Thank you. Of how many people messaged me and were like, hey, I just lost track of everything happening at book 6, and after your mega summary, I was able to get back in, and that's awesome.
With all the army cards that you've collected.
Yeah, it's very strategic. You're going to be trying to assign them to these different routes, wondering, okay, if I go to the center, which is where you can route an enemy army, are they going to put all their units in the center? And you're kind of assigning these units in secret, then revealing them, and whoever has the most strength in each lane wins. Sometimes you can win all 3 lanes if you play smartly, and if there's a real mind game of like, are you going to go here? Are you going to go there? Like, just like in a real battle.
I like that. It's So the structure of this game partially seems to be broken down into a bunch of smaller games happening within the grand strategy, and how you perform in that sense is what's going to kind of position you for the final climax in the last battle if you play that version of the game. All of that makes sense to kind of work with what the story of the Wheel of Time turns into, which is this like gargantuan thing. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm excited about that. Someone asked me what I'm reading right now. I'm in the middle of Parade of Horribles, the latest Dungeon Crawler Carl book. I just finished East of Eden, which was mind-alteringly amazing. And then I do not mean to change the vibe of this stream. This is just a different thing. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I decided it's probably a good idea for me to read the most important book in terms of Western culture formation. So I've been reading the Bible, which has been so different than I thought it would be.
Like, are they coming from the left or the right, the center? Where am I putting my guys?
I would say that those mind games are the one thing that you've explained to me that sounds intriguing to me. Even though the epic mode isn't generally my kind of game,
Yeah.
that aspect sounds really interesting.
Well, when you get to the last battle in epic mode, you have all these tiles. These are awards that you're going to hand out. In hero mode, if you win a different thing, you're getting points. So if you get points from your banners, you'll get points for having allies, and you'll get points for having the highest strength of your heroes or leaders at the end of the game. But in the last battle in epic mode, you don't just flat out get points for some of that stuff. You get these tokens, and these tokens will help you in the last battle, but it's not necessarily obvious where you're going to put them. And even if you go into the last battle and you've won like all of the tokens you could possibly win, which is very hard to do, by the way, it's never, very obvious, like, okay, I'm going into this last battle, I know I'm going to be destroyed. These are like kind of like combat tricks, and there's, some fun things you can pull off with these and with the power cards, which are just powers that you collect over the game, like action cards that do crazy things.
Yeah,
So-
the power cards let you do some really unique things when your opponent least expects it. One other thing I wanted to mention too is a lot of the things we've talked about, and we have really kind of glossed over everything, but a lot of them have some interconnectivity that we really haven't touched on. The tableau that you're building, the cards that you're playing. We didn't even mention this, but when you select one of your actions, you're playing one of the cards out of your hand to sort of go along with that action. Now, to some degree, the card and the action can be quite independent. But as the game goes on and you build your tableau, you're going to be playing cards for other reasons than just what's on the card and what the card does, because it might be an icon. And if you have enough of those icons, it enhances the action that you're taking. So there's a lot of layers to even just the gameplay.
I hope these people don't mind that I'm just like reviewing their video with you all here on the channel. It's a part of the Kickstarter, so I hope that's okay. Shout out again to Man vs. Meeple. The structure seems to align with what I thought it was going to be, which it makes sense. It does seem like, from a high concept level, the right way to make a Wheel of Time game. I still am a little, I don't know, weirded out's not the right word, just curious about this having two games in one thing. I have a feeling, knowing Wheel of Time fans like I do, there's not going to be a lot of them playing the more simplified version. Wheel of Time fans want to play the last battle, right? Period. And if you're sitting down for a board game night, I don't know if they've clocked out the average time difference between one version versus the next, but unless it's a pretty extreme, like, longer commitment to do the last battle, I think a lot of people are going to be doing the more complicated version. And then it depends on whether or not it finds a market outside of Wheel of Time fans. Maybe the more casual players will just go for that. It's just kind of striking me. I haven't talked about this yet. It's kind of crazy. This is the first Wheel of Time board game. There's so many for so many different franchises, and Wheel of Time just is always kind of late to the adaptation world for some reason. It was late in getting a show, in my opinion. It was late in, it was early in a game. I will give it, the Wheel of Time video game that's out there came out in like 90, was it early 2000s or late 90s? That was good. I actually think that might be one of the best Wheel of Time adaptations yet. We'll have to wait and see if this board game overthrows it. Interesting.
Even though it's pretty straightforward in terms of selecting an action, playing a card, and done with your turn, there's a lot more that goes into those decisions.
Well, there is a lot, because you're kind of deciding which lanes you're going to go into throughout the game. I mean, I talked about all the different things that score, getting your banners, getting the corruption, winning these objectives is really going to give you a lot of small bonuses along the way. Building out your ally pool is going to give you these huge, you can have some huge columns in your tableau, which is going to give you benefits at the end of the game, but it's also going to make that action better. And there are some other things that might trigger based on how many cards you have in specific rows. So you can really lean into those things. I mean, when I'm playing as like even a shadow player, there's so many different things I have to consider when I sit down to play the game. And a lot of it is watching what you're doing. Are you trying to stop me from getting wheel spin so I can't break the seals and get my Forsaken? But if you're doing that, you're not stopping me from building my army. So there's just all these tug of wars that are happening all across the board. And I like to believe that, it's going to create a lot of thematic moments. Like,
that was kind of what I was waiting to hear. Okay, great. I am very happy with that. That is kind of what I want, going from like the macro to the medium level, the turn to focus on. I like the decision to have several veins of approach to try and screw with your opponent. Just because someone has been winning battles consistently doesn't mean that they're going to by default to win the last battle, because maybe all of a sudden you can deploy all 13 Forsaken or something crazy and changes the tides or whatever. I still don't know exactly how the game functions, but going from high concept to medium concept, that seems like a solid approach to execute it. There was a Wheel of Time card game if it counts. That's right, there was. I completely blanked on that. Thank you. There was also a Wheel of Time role-playing game back in 2001 by Wizards of the Coast, I believe. Are you talking about the video game? Because that's what I was referring to. The Hero Epic Mode split was to make sure more people could access the fun. Yeah, that makes sense. We figure there would be a segment that would be overwhelmed by the full version. Didn't want those players to bounce off. Yeah, I get that. I'm purely speaking on I know Wheel of Time fans. And Wheel of Time fans, if you can't tell by them being willing to read, as you are one yourself, a 14-book series, 15 if you include the prequel, they tend to bite off. Wheel of Time fans chew with a wide mouth. That is a consistent character trait I have found among them. And I actually genuinely believe that. If you find a group of people who all agreed to commit to a 15-book fantasy epic, there are going to be some character traits among those people that are pretty consistent. I think that's just a fact. And I'm going to say this myself. I'll be doing the full version. I will be the guy at game night, and this is, I hope, what you want to hear. A debate before the even game starts of who wants to play which version. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And seeing the full game laid out, it's a lot of cards, it's a lot of tokens, it's a lot of figures. My biggest fear, I don't think more people would bounce off from like an additional stage at the end of the last battle. Again, I don't know the mechanics, so I could be speaking on my ass here. I have just personally had so many people not want to play a game if they see it as a lot of parts. And I usually find that like the ultimate, this is the most you can have to have the maximum wide audience is like Settlers of Catan, right? There's like 10 things you need to know for Settlers of Catan and the pieces to make it work. That is the lowest bar of entry. And that's not what a Wheel of Time game should be shooting for, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm getting over a cough. This seems to be, I want to say, like, striking a very good level for what I would be looking for in a Wheel of Time game in terms of complexity. This is the way I'll put it. If a Wheel of Time game was as accessible as Settlers of Catan, I would be deeply disappointed. But that also is a creative hurdle for the creators to try and manage, right? I don't know. I'm speaking. I've never designed a board game. What the hell do I know about? But from an outside observer, that's what it feels like coming in.
When you play Star Wars Rebellion, you'll get these moments that happen organically where you're like, oh, that happened just like the movies. Like Luke Skywalker just flew an X-Wing and blew up the Death Star. Like that, I couldn't have planned.
Okay. Put in those characters like that. Come on. That was a really good choice to do while he's saying that thing. That's great. He really is a fan.
And that better. That happens in this too, and I really like those moments.
So, is this game going to make me want to? Because mentioning Star Wars, I can relate to that. If I could play Star Wars Rebellion and experience that, I've seen those movies millions of times. Is this going to make me want to read the books, you think?
I mean, I honestly do think so. I think that people that will play this, and of course, like I'm saying this because I was on the design team and I love Wheel of Time, so I'm like, I want everyone to read Wheel of Time. But if you find yourself loving this game and you're playing some of these cards and you're like, oh, this sounds cool. This card's called the Pit of Doom. This card's called Rats and Ravens, the Shadow's Touch. Like, and you go through these missions, you're like, and all the artwork is created for this, for the game. And it's all phenomenal.
Okay, gotta look at this art again. That pot on Fane is awesome. He looks that pot on Fane looks like his name is Meth Willie, and he hangs out down by the trailer park, and he keeps trying to cut people with his knife. But he's been doing it since 1982, and that's just Willie. Sorry, that was me. I see the Bella. Is that Bella? I think that's Bella. We also have the Black Tower. Sick. And I want to see who. Savannah is behind Rand right there. I am impressed with myself for getting that. Daniel, I made that exact point with the publisher. The fan base for this game is used to reading 14,000 pages. They can handle a 14-page rulebook. Yeah. A captured what? A captured EO something. I think that's an O. I'm not sure. Don't look if you don't want spoilers. What do you mean? I don't see anything that's like a super hardcore spoiler here. There's names that if you get the context, it's like, oh, I get what that is. But without the context, I don't think so.
So it's not like we're not pulling from a TV show or whatever. This is all based on the books and it's all original artwork. And honestly, it's intriguing. I think if you've never read the books and you come play this game, first of all, you're not going to be at any kind of loss if you haven't read the books.
I'm really glad he said that because I just saw the comment where someone said, right now my main concern is this. I don't think I could play with this someone hasn't read the books, but in the process of reading them. Oh, wait, yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, that specific thing might be a tricky point, but it's also one of those things where if you play it once with someone, they're not going to remember the card, right, by the time they're on book 6, and that's fine. A captured foe, you're probably right. And I also think this so far, in no way, shape, or form have I seen this require you to read the books to, like, get it. Everything here seems very, like, yeah, if this was just a game, you got it. Like, you don't, like, the madness isn't coming in a way that you need to explain any kind of Wheel of Time lore. I haven't seen them reference the creator or any of the metaphysics in a way where anyone who has not read the books will be confused. I'm interested to see if there were conversations around that, because when I heard corruption, I was wondering if that was going to be tied into madness and how, if people were going to have to understand lore. But it seems like that may have been pulled out, which, from a game perspective that needs to be accessible to an audience outside of Wheel of Time, that makes sense to me.
Like, it's not like I've read the book, so I'm going to do what Matt did in chapter 4, book 6, or whatever. Like, that's not how you play the game. Now, those moments might happen, but I can see the reverse happening. You're like, you fall in love with the world, you get interested in the characters, and that makes you want to, learn about the history, the backstory.
Yeah, I think fans of the property will come for the property, stay for the game, and the reverse might happen as well. If the type of game this is sounds like something that's compelling to you, you'll play it, and that might spill over into wanting to know a little.
I think that'll be a little bit less so. Sorry, I didn't point the mic over. I hope you still heard. I don't think a ton of people will play a board game and go, oh, I want to then read the books. I just personally haven't heard of that happening. That being said, this is structured in a way where if you find yourself enjoying the structure of this war game that breaks down into individual battles and has, it seems like, territory and stuff going on with corruption and things, that actually is the structure of the story. Like, what's happening in terms of there being battles and also personal character stuff and lore development happening. So it's a shame because I don't think you can really communicate that. But in an entertainment level, Max, do I sound crazy right now? That is coming across. Like, the reason I said that earlier is I feel like it does work. Like, it does feel like, yeah, there's some actual, like, this feels like Wheel of Time even on the structural side. I don't know.
A little bit more about the universe.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a rich universe, and people have questioned, they're like, how do you fit everything in there? Well, I'll tell you, like, there's so much. And there's one thing we haven't talked about yet that I want to talk about. The last thing. This was the way we squeezed in a lot of the theme, was in this epic mode, because you're going to have one more tug of war, and that is an events track, and you're going to be drawing some of these cards as rewards, and a lot of them are going to give you objectives to complete. So that's one more thing you have to think about when you're playing your turn, is how to complete these objectives. But every time you do, you get to add one of your
The objectives mechanic, I still don't entirely understand.
cards to that row. Whoever completes the most cards, gets to the middle slot first, is going to win that token for the last battle. But every single one of those event cards is named after something in the books. They're all named after, like, chapters or events and things that have actually happened. So
I'm mad I didn't notice that. God damn it, that is a chapter. I should have caught that.
name some of the significant chapters of the books, you're going to see those across all of the different cards and events in the game. That's a really cool feeling. I've always said that even if I wasn't on the design team, we designed a Wheel of Time game for us, for people that love Wheel of Time.
That's the best way to go.
But we also wanted to make sure that gamers would have a lot of fun with it, because we're gamers at our hearts too.
Yeah, I will say from a gaming perspective, and again, even though I haven't played Epic Mode, a lot of the things that it adds, and a lot of the things the base game has too, or the hero mode, is those not variable, but those different tugs of war that Ryan was talking about, which you find in a lot of smaller games, right? Like Seven Wonders Duel, things like that, where you're like, oh,
just like that.
He's doing this. I haven't done anything over there. I'm working on these missions. There's a lot of like plates to keep spinning. Is it the kind of thing where you want to keep all the plates spinning, or can you like say, you know what, I'm gonna ignore this?
You kind of want to keep. Well, I'm not gonna speak highly on the strategies, but you do. So I always feel when I play this kind of games, I want to keep all the plates spinning, because if it seems to you that I've dropped a plate, then you'll be like, oh, I can just win that. I don't even need to worry about. If I keep my plate spinning, I'm making you maybe overcommit to winning something, where reality is I might pull back at the last minute and go, I'm done fighting over that. Now that you've committed all your resources to that, I'm not even going to come after it anymore.
See, that's what I'm talking about structurally. That's exactly what I'm talking about, because that is like kind of what the Shadow and the Light do throughout the series, where it feels like Rand makes huge strides here, or Perrin does something crazy over there, but you find out, oh, by the way, this whole time, the Shadow back over here has just decimated this country, and there's famine. Oh, and now there's a climate thing. It's like, oh, fuck. That's what I mean. Like, it seems like it's actually managing, if this is all executed like it's promising, to hit that.
Ryan is letting us.
I like to spin all the plates.
Giving a glimpse into your strategy, your strategic way of thinking.
I think that for a lot of these kind of games, if there's an area that you're clearly abandoning, like if it's clear I'm not going after these missions, you don't really need to commit a lot to them.
This is why I'm not good at these games. Like I look at one thing and I commit to it, but that says a lot about my type of play.
That's why we have here. That's a little easier to do in hero mode.
It is, yeah, for sure. But that is War of...
Okay. That was a good walkthrough. I appreciate them including that. God, that took longer than I meant to. Now we have the pledge levels. All right. And now if you're involved in the game, I might get harsh here. I just want to put that out. Pricing is something that I care about. And I also... You know what? Let me just... I'll put this fairly. I think board games in general are incredibly expensive. Like, upsettingly expensive. I've talked to people in board game shops who know the industry and stuff, and there's reasons for that, right? They are not made in general in the quantity to, get the discounts they need to be more affordable and all that. I haven't looked at okay, let's just look at the prices. It's rare to find a game that I look at something and I'm going to go, oh, that's affordable. And that's the problem, because if you end up investing in a board game and you end up not liking it, then you just drop $90 on something, or, maybe like 60, maybe 200, it depends on the game, on something that's just a disappointment. And a lot of board game shops don't have good return policies because they can't. Like, you can't afford to just not make that sale anymore. Board gaming is a very expensive hobby. There's a reason when I was broke, and I think it was late high school, and I had to sell money for like gas money, I sold my board game collection because I was like, well, I can at least get something for it. And the resale market for board games has been a real thing for a long time. All right, pledge levels. Oh, shit. Brigida Silverbow. Distracted by art. Let's see here. Pledge levels. Brigida Silverbow art. That's my first care. She is beautiful. They did a really good job in that. Okay. Especially the ones with minis. I do wish some had 3D printed options. But I get why that's a thing. Yeah. I hate the prices to cause. I seldomly have people willing. Yeah. Oh, God, that's a problem, too. I get board games, and then, like, my friends like to play quick games, and that's kind of my hesitation with War of the Dragon. It's going to be hard for me to convince people. All right. For the lowest tier, we have $90 with cardboard standees, the Dragon Reborn edition, Wheel of Time. That's at the upper end of what I thought the price would be for the cheaper edition, but as someone who has looked at a lot of board games, that's not insane. It's not great, but it's not insane. If you go into board game stores, there are $200-$300 games out there. That's not uncommon. Even if I don't play, I want to physically have it, like a dragon with his horde. That's funny. I'm less inclined to complain about this because I almost prefer the cardboard minis over the plastic ones. If anything, this is gonna be the one I order. So I think I'm less likely to be bothered by that. Cardboard standees. Let's see, the One Power edition, cardboard standees and plastic minis. Is that the only upgrade? For $30 more, $33 more. I wouldn't do that. I would stick with the $90 one. And yeah, it's because I prefer the cardboard standees. You get color art. You get Carl Rand. What do we call them? Carl All Thor. Yeah. I would personally go with that version. And then we have a whoa. Then we have a $300 version. What's this come with? Holy shit. Component upgrade pack. Oh, okay. All right. I see something here. So this is going to be the metal tiles. It looks like that's metal, I think. That's the component upgrades. War of the Dragon card sleeves. Okay, that's like another $10. Neoprene playmat. What's the playmat made of otherwise? Map of Westland's art print. That's going to be up to people to decide if that's worth it for them. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I would definitely do the $90. That's where I would feel myself at. This is for the whales. And I don't blame any company for putting up, the whale option. You need to do that. I see people get mad, especially for like special editions of books. First of all, I get if you're mad about like just the general cost of a special edition of a book, but a company will be like, here's our $200 edition. And then they'll be like, and here's our $3,000 edition. And it's got like a couple of really nice things and it's super limited. And I hear someone go like, why the hell would you make that? Because they'll sell it. And it will be what they make a lot of their money on because whales. And so, yeah, I think that I don't blame them. And I just don't think that's for everybody. And I would say this isn't for everybody. This is the standard and I'll probably do the standard. Yeah, it's at the upper end of what I would expect to see in a board game store, and I don't want to speak on prices for board games on Kickstarter because that I just don't know what the typical price for a board game is on Kickstarter. I don't buy board games on Kickstarters a lot. It's 500 sleeves. Oh wow, okay, that's a lot more than $10. My bad, but still not something I'm necessarily interested in. I could still, for a lot less money than $300, just go to my local game board shop and get 500 sleeves for less. Granted, they're probably going to come with like Wheel of Time art on them, I would assume, and that's sick. Yeah. All right, add-ons. Oh, you can do individual add-ons and customize it. I'm so happy. Okay, if you're still the people who work on the board and you're here, the board game, I love that you did this. Thank you. This is what I want people to be able to do. I want them to be able to customize the exact package they want. Oh, you're here. Thank you. Sticker shock is totally valid. Materials, logistical, and production costs are a lot higher than they were. The board game industry, I just talked about how books got screwed by tariffs and COVID and stuff in that last video I put out. The board game industry I hit harder because it didn't get exempted for a lot of the stuff that books did. So I'm trying to I want to make this clear. I'm speaking from a perspective of a consumer, right? I have infinite sympathy for board game makers, especially for smaller companies. You don't want to price stuff this high. Of course you don't. But with volume and things, it's just what it ends up being. Excuse me. All right. Let's get in here. The cheapest one is the one that should be the cheapest, and it's the best one. Oh my god, I'm so excited to see that. I might just buy these cards. Is that allowed? We have the Bella and Hopper promo cards. Hell yeah. Free for backers who pre-registered before the campaign. I think I did. I think I at least registered. Yeah. And then the component pack upgrade, $40. Complete your game with a full set of acrylic tokens and metal coins. Yeah, for people who want that, sure. God damn, do I want that? No. Maybe. Shut up. I don't know what I want anymore. Here, I don't need to go to another tab. And I'm going to shrink the chat box a little bit if y'all don't mind. Ugh, complainers. I don't mean to come across complaining. I'm just trying to explain myself. Hey, Rustage is here. Board game? Yes, game of board. Oh, I haven't asked. Wait, we have someone here from the board game. I want to know, will there be a digital version? I want a digital version so goddamn bad, please. I know that's probably way down your list, but oh, I love playing board games like mobily with people through Discord or whatever on an app. Because a lot of the people I know, like Rustage here, who I want to play board games with the most, unfortunately don't live in America. Rustage, you dick. No, sorry. A little bit. Live in America. It's fine. There's nothing wrong here at all. Don't look at any headline. Campaign exclusive. Map of the Westlands art print for $50? What's the material? It's and it's 24 by 30. Yeah, I'm not going to do that for 24 by 36. Nah. But I get it. Neoprene playmat. That I might do. I like neoprene playmats. And that's like the mousepad material, right? I can use this. I'll play Magic the Gathering on top of my Wheel of Time map, and no one can stop me. No, this is not IWAT. This is not IWAT. As far as I can tell. I know that. No, not as far as I can tell. I've seen no trace of them anywhere. Okay. War of the Dragon card sleeves, $60 for 500. That's actually not a bad deal. I get 100 for like $10 at my local game store. That's actually good. Right? Someone who buys card sleeves more often than me, double check me on that. I want to know. Because I don't think that's bad. Direwolf does a lot of digital adaptations. Yes! Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, great. War of the Dragon, The Wheel of Time, The Dragon Reborn edition. One additional copy of the Dragon Reborn edition. Wait, so you just get a second? Yeah, that's the cost of it. What? Do you want a second one? You can get a second one. Yeah, these aren't add-ons. That's getting it again. What? I'm genuinely confused by that. What? Daniel, where do you print the Wheel of Time map you gave for free? Oh, I don't print that. That's handled through third-party people. That's other stuff. The story behind that's interesting. I wanted, obviously, a Final Battle and Wheel of Time map for that mega summary because it felt like the magnum opus of my career. So I reached out to an artist who was really awesome and already had an existing Wheel of Time map they still sell on their site. And I said, hey, could we just modify this a little bit to make it a Final Battle map? And I'll give that version away for free digitally and also get free promo for people who want to check out your store to buy your map. And he was like, hell yeah. So I paid him to make the new version. I always pay your artists for their work, always. And then he agreed to let me just give away the digital print of that to my audience, which I really love being able to do. And he got promotion out of it because, of course, I link him in the video. No digital versions planned so far that I know of. Hold up, I think you misspoke. You meant digital version immediately planned, and we're on it now. But the publisher is called Direwolf Digital. They've done a lot of digital adaptations in the past. Sorry, I read that wrong. He said it's called Direwolf Digital, meaning they've already started the digital adaptation. Did you hear that, audience? It's already begun. I don't do fantasy news anymore. I can lie to you. I don't have to worry about my credibility. Screw it. Whatever. I don't care. All right, moving on. Art gallery. Toit. All right, I'm happy. We got Loyal Mini, and we got a Tom Maryland Mini. I'm so thrilled. They'll see how the game sells first, then decide digital later. That makes complete sense. Yeah, I get cheaper sleeves for $7-8 for 100. Okay, so these nice ones would be a bit more than that, and they have art, and they're doing a slower print. So yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Your Mistborn summary made me read all of Stormlight. It's been out long enough that you read all of Stormlight. Good on you, man. I'm proud of you for being that voracious of a reader. You're reading like a booktuber. Nice. Now they have to? I hope so. Oh, look at this art, y'all. The rings. That looks good. I am shocked. I've never seen this depicted in art outside of the cover this scene adjacent to this scene is on. I won't say anything because that is very late spoilers. Damn. Very cool. I will not talk about what that is either. The Golden Crane. The Golden Crane. Wait, we need to check. Does this character whose name I'm not going to say's face look mildly annoyed? Because it should. It should look mildly annoyed that there is an army with them. Badass. God, those Darkhounds look vicious. I like that. Okay. It's not how I envisioned Darkhounds. I always envisioned Darkhounds like all black mastiffs. I don't think that matches the book description. I think that's just my headcanon. But these look cool. Yeah, they have to frame the extra copies as add-ons. Kickstarter isn't really that flexible. Wait, what? You can only get one? It's a clever workaround, and good on them for finding a workaround, but what a dumb error for Kickstarter for not having that. Oh, you only want one? You want two of our product? No. Join the community, so they have a thing. Tar Valon is such a beauty. The domes by the water with the ships. Tar Valon is such a photogenic city and concept. And I don't really have anything else beyond that, but it's an observation, and you now have it. Shirium. Right? No, wait, that's not a brown shawl. Or wait, there's a color correction thing happening on my screen right now. Let me, it's for my eyes. It's making everything more red. Let me take that off. No, that is red. So that's not Shirium. It looked like Shirium to me. Okay. Shipping and delivery. Hey, Michael, the person who's here who worked on the game, please pass along to whoever was in charge of drawing the female characters my sincere gratitude for maintaining the true spirit of Robert Jordan's imaginative breastises. That it's respect, and Robert Jordan is resting peacefully in his grave. But there was not one spanking card, so don't back it and don't buy. No, I'm kidding. We handle fulfillment inside of the United States ourselves from our warehouse in Denver. Cool. We work with local partners around the world to keep costs low and delivery times reasonable. Fair. I mean, that just makes sense with what I guess you have to do to especially deal with the rising cost of everything. After the Kickstarter campaign ends, you will be invited to manage your pledge and backer kit, where you'll be able to confirm your shipping details, add on additional items, and pay any applicable taxes and delivery fees. You must confirm your pledge details. Okay, this just seems like standard backer kit stuff. Hopper! Of course, when they're talking about Direwolf, they put a Wheel of Time one in. Nice. Let's see. That'll be up to publisher. Oh, they're sorry, you're finding someone else. My bad. Yeah, this is cool. Wait, what city is this? Blue roofs with a slight mountain coming to a palace. There's not the red of Camelin. Oh, Carian. Duh. Risks and challenges. Challenges in phase 2. Overall, we're confident and excited about the road ahead. Cool. The biggest where are the... Come on, show me the pledge levels. I thought every Kickstarter had to have, like, pledge levels and goals. Where am I? I'm not... Did I pass it? I don't think so. Oh, it's in the side here. I'm smart. Available rewards. Oh, no. Oh, you're not doing... I'm used to seeing the thing where if you hit like 100K, you unlock whatever. But I get that's just not a part of... Yeah, because what would you add on? Add on is a board game. I get it. Duh. All right. The Last Battle bundle. 780 people have already done the highest. You guys got to be thrilled about that. God damn. Nice. Very cool. Prologue. Not really committed. Get access to backer kit after the campaign. 82 people just throwing down $5. I get it. Trying to see if you can save up for it. Cool. The Dragon Reborn. Only 121 people are at my level? I thought that was going to be the most popular, but the most expensive one? Wheel of Time fans are out of their goddamn mind, and I kind of love it. I think that's Pavera. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Man, you know your Wheel of Time. I'm glad you're on board this project. The one power. The 123 one, 700. The most expensive option is the best selling. I don't think I've seen that on any Kickstarter ever. Congratulations. It's because you did the boobies. This is crazy. Now I feel like I'm missing out if I don't do the most expensive with all the nice add-ons and shit. All right. I know how I'm going to make this decision. I know exactly how I'm going to make this decision. Hold up.
Are you calling me right now?
Yeah. Which one do I get?
Yes. For what?
The most expensive, the medium expensive, or the least expensive?
Daniel.
I'm putting this on you. That way, when the credit card bill comes, it's not my call.
No. I am not the CEO of Fantasy News. I do not get to make these calls.
You know what's funny? As the acting CEO of Fantasy News, I just decided right now, here live on camera, to promote you to CEO of Fantasy News. Now it's your call. I just demoted myself to the presenter and only that.
If you can ask me correctly in Korean, I'll consider answering.
What? That's so... Hold up. Wait.
You're on a time limit. You can't use ChatGPT. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Okay. No, she hung up. No. No. All right. Jesus. All right. I'm going to do the most expensive one. Oh, God. Son of a gun. All right. I got to start looking at credit card details and stuff. Give me a second here. All right. We're doing this. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up and be quiet. Everyone leave me alone while I do this shameful thing in front of all of you. Oh, God. Refresh? I think mine has stayed up to date. It started at 1600 when we were here. Now it's at 1877. I assume it's been climbing. Yeah. No, we stayed where it's at. Let me see here. Back this project. Michael, are you happy? God damn it. You bastard. No, sorry. God, I need to stop saying that to people. Pledge without a reward. Oh, I guess there's none of my private information's on the screen now. I can still show that. Ships to United States. Wait, why am I saying 4? Oh, right, the prologue one. Oh, you clever naming it prologue. 15% off. God, all right. No, I'm not. It has all of this, right? I don't want to add any of this because it has all of this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. I peer pressured himself. Shut up. Because you're 100% right. Shut up. It just doesn't need to be pointed out right now. All right. All right. Daniel. Yeah, I know. Man folded with 0 pressure. I folded with the right amount of pressure for Wheel of Time. And this means I get to play it. I thought I had something else to add there. I don't. Yeah, we're pledged. All right. Oh, did I update my address with Kickstarter? Okay, Kickstarter. Just immediately got recommended porn for my next board game. Not going to show that. That's a hentai board game that came up in the recommended things. Moving on. I didn't know that was allowed on Kickstarter. Jesus Christ. Wow. Really glad I'm not sharing my screen right now. Oh yeah, I definitely need to remove my address and update my new one here. Okay, but while I do that, I will go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning on in. I really, really do appreciate it. We had a good time going over all of that. Michael, I want to say thank you. I appreciate someone from actually being involved in the board game showing up and giving us a line of communication. And I'll say this. If it wasn't my job to review this game and talk about it one day, I would probably stick with the $90. That would have been the one I go with. But one, it's a tax write-off for me, which is a glorious advantage. And two, I'm the guy who made the Wheel of Time